Gahul here, knocking out another fucking video from my car. I'm making some videos in my car because, and you can't even see me. I'm in my car. So here, hi, it's Gahul. Hopefully I'll pass a light. I'm in the middle of the fucking country. Hopefully I will pass a light soon that like illuminates my face a bit more. But I doubt it. Anyways, I'm here in the dark and I want to say a couple things about Hot Wheels. I made a post on Twitter and on YouTube a couple days ago, and first of all, to Acid and Mark and everyone from 8chan Mo, you guys are all fucking stupid. Completely. There's one of two options, and probably both are true in some respects. You're either completely stupid, or completely oblivious to basic facts of human fucking existence, of anything, or you're pedophiles. Or hebophiles, as they say. One or the other. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm not willing to give you the benefit of the doubt anymore, but if someone was willing to give yourself the benefit of the doubt, you might say that being the dumbest fucking brick on the face of the planet is actually the better option for you. Because if there's if you're not, the options are either you're the complete stupidest fucking person who's ever lived, who's never once considered or thought about the consequences of their actions at all. It doesn't even cross their fucking mind what doing something might do, right? Or how solving a problem by covering it up and not actually solving it is actually just making things fucking worse. You dumb fuck. Do I have to go into all the details of this? Sure, why not? I'll go a little bit in the details, you know. Fucking 8chan Mo has the fucking Heb board, which is still fucking up to this day. And I will say it's not up because it's locked. We locked the board and we put a big red sign that says pedos not allowed in the front. But then there's the entire fucking board where pedos were discussing shit on your site still below it. Doesn't matter that you can't post anymore. The archive of fucking pedophilic discussions, hemophilic, sorry Ludwig, sorry, Ludwig, you know, my good friend Ludwig doesn't understand that when someone says pedophilia, they're talking about having sex with a child, and children are under the age of 18 in most countries. Maybe he's fucking English or some shit and doesn't get that, but whatever. I digress. They have this fucking site up, this board up on their fucking site, which you can still go to this fucking day. And it still has fucking links to other sites, which I haven't clicked on because I'm not a fucking idiot, but are saying shit like, oh, look here for photos. And they have links to sites where they potentially have photos of underage children on their site right fucking now. And they say, oh, well, we don't allow this, and you're fucking spreading lies and shit. You fucking idiots, it's still up, you dumb fucks. It's still accessible. I don't care. You're hosting a fucking archive of it on your fucking site. I don't care that new pedophiles can't post. You still have the fucking old pedophiles shit still up there. And beyond that, the reasoning is we don't want to delete the Heb board because if we do, then anyone could use that URL. No. You own the domain. You own the fucking domain of the fucking website. No one can make a fucking URL from your domain if you are the owner of the fucking domain. No one can make a / whatever page. They would require them to own the 8chan.moa domain name, which they don't own. Whatever argument you have as to why the board is still up is fucking wrong. If you're worried about someone, I know you guys can, I guess they have board creation there. If you're worried about someone making a new board, just fucking ban that term from the board creation list. You run the software of the site. Figure the fuck out. You should have that. You should already have baked in that certain fucking words aren't allowed to be made into fucking boards. For obvious reasons, specifically related to illegal content. You should be banning all boards related to shit that's related to illegal content. You should be banning any attempt to make a board called child porn or fucking, I don't know, Silk Road. I mean, not Silk Road. Silk Road, you could argue maybe it's fucking like Chinese silk merchants website. Maybe like, you know, whatever. But fucking like drug trading, like hit. Like there's illegal things you can post on the internet that are illegal, that you should forbid boards from being created that are about those illegal things. Just saying, it's fucking obvious. And you don't have a fucking system in place for that, that's your fault, and you shouldn't have launched the website without that. You dumb fuck. Irresponsible little shits just fucking destroyed the fucking reputation of the community that I once fucking loved by being the most, either they're the most brain dead, idiotic, stupid fucks to ever live, which is unlikely. It's far more likely that they are pedophilic, fed, glow-in-the-dark fucks who want to endanger and entrap every single person who posts on that fucking site. And want to destroy, not just destroy 8chan, but erase every fucking memory of it by entrapping and imprisoning everyone who once used it. That's what I think is fucking going on, personally, because that's what it seems to be. Because I can't imagine someone being this completely fucking stupid. But you know what? I don't want to give him that, but potentially that's what's going on. But that's the legacy that Hot Wheels left. When Hot Wheels fucking campaigned and shut down 8chan, 8chan has a fucking long sort of history with bullshit. And what's fucking left of it? What do you fucking think's left of it? Huh? Dog shit. Hot Wheels' legacy is dog shit. It is nothing. There was beautiful communities on 8chan. People don't remember that. People forget. There was a fucking mecha board. Obviously, I loved 8chan TV. The Woo board on 8chan was amazing. There was great communities where people really posted, and there were so many things that I found out about, and people I met and talked with and got to know, and there was real shit on that place. There was horrible shit too. Not gonna deny that. Polls sucked, but 8chan wasn't a overall bad place, I felt. But now I don't know if I feel that. Because the legacy it's left behind, the fucking key people besides me, it's fucking Cal, me, the Animu Bunker, which sucks. Sorry, I don't like the restrictive thing. It's not for me. I don't think it's very good. I don't think it gets people. I don't know them, so maybe I shouldn't be talking shit. But all the AA spin-offs have been, they really restrict what you can and can't post in your formatting. It's just not what I like, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, but I don't know. And V, which is Mark, and all of the fucking HMO people, and they suck. And I'm just really fed up with and tired of, this was such a huge part of being part of that and being part of TV, and having that community was a huge part of my life, for better and for worse. And I have to thank, Hot Wheels was the creator of that in the end. He fucking built that shit, you can't take that from him, but you can take a lot else from him. And to see his memorial be essentially on Hot Wheels memorial, how people found out he was dead. People found out he was dead because of a fucking something awful fucking podcast. Because his boyfriend was part of a something awful podcast. Can you imagine? At least Coach Red Pill got on fucking national news, right? That's how the breaking news story was. His parents came forward, right? We didn't find this out because of Hot Wheels' dad made a post or something. When Cobra died, we got that fucking sad shit from Clint and that amazing video and the tribute, right? And that was really sad and emotional and very heartwarming, right? Hot Wheels is so below even King Cobra and JFS at this point that the only person who cared enough to tell anyone he was dead was his gay boyfriend, who hosts a something awful podcast, a something awful podcaster. I think it would be even better if no one knew he died. It would have been better for there to be no announcement, or to not find out. It would be better to quietly fade away than to have it be found out like this. It's so fucking sad. You should remember, this is the fucking one of the kingpins of Gamergate, right? This guy was on national news talking about Brianna Wu and shit back in the day. And who's left from that, right? You got Jim and Ron are still alive. They're fucking, basically, they should, essentially they are nothing, right? Mr. Medicator somehow still clung to life. He's outlived a lot more than he should have. He'll probably outlive many of us. I think he's, whether he's faking that shit or not. Mr. Medicator's left. Ralph's left. Long may he live. Milo. I guess Warski wasn't part of Gamergate, but Warski's still alive for now. But like, Sargon's still here, and he's still Sargon won. In the end, of those who survived, Sargon's the one who's really truly won. And Ralph's not. I don't hate Ralph like some of you guys hate Ralph, right? But like Sargon's like a real winner. I think we can all agree that Sargon's made it. I don't know about half these people, right, that are left. But, Hot Wheels, Coach has hit harder. Like, I feel worse about Coach and I only talked with Coach a couple of times, whereas Hot Wheels, like, directly impacted my life in ways that I probably still don't understand. Unfortunately, it sucks to say that that's such a fucking completely worthless piece of shit, right? But, like, me coming onto HM, becoming a mod and the board owner of TV, like, completely veered direction, changed my life. It's completely course-corrected who I am as a person. Politically, like, friendship-wise, like, financially, like, what I've done with my life, it's like completely reshaped me as a person. And now he's dead. And I have nothing good to say about him. What he did with his attempts to deplatform HN after it went down, which maybe HN deserved it. I'm not even saying HN didn't deserve it. If there's any website, and maybe Hot Wheels had the right, if there's anyone who would do it, it would be Hot Wheels, because what Jim Ron did. And I understand it. I understand why he did it. Doesn't mean I forgive him. Doesn't mean like the steps he took weren't potentially societally disastrous. Like the potential ramifications of what could have happened had things stayed the course and things not gone crazy. When Elon bought Twitter, shit got reset, and like that shit felt like stop. I no longer worry about that shit whereas I had before, because I don't see people talking about getting debanked anymore. People still do, but like it's not like the way it was, where if you had a mildly conservative opinion online, you could not host a website. Because even though you didn't break the law, we're going to contact the internet data uplink stream, not even like your server host, because your server host is one thing, but to contact, you own your servers. Jim owned the servers, as far as I know, that he was using, right? Like or I think it was like Epic, whoever was running Gab, I think might have owned them, but like they were private servers that like weren't like Jim renting. He wasn't violating the agreement. Like he agreed, like, hey, we're gonna host the website on these servers, right? There's no bullshit like he's like using AWS or some shit to host that. It's his private server. And going after the data uplink for a data center, right? Like where you like the internet infrastructure itself. Like it'd be like if I called someone I was mad about because they pissed me off so much, and I got them to get their internet shut off, right? Like that shouldn't be able to happen. I know it can happen, but that shouldn't be able to happen. It's a fucking utility, right? It's like we call the power company each had their power shut off, which I don't know. If you're paying for the service and you shouldn't be able, if you're paying for the service and it's not being used to break the law, it shouldn't be allowed to get shut down like that. And it was, and that's fucked up. And it was done for political reasons. It was done entirely because of leftists. And Hot Wheels spearheaded it and gave them that fucking nuclear bomb to drop on any website they didn't like, potentially. That's always hung over these conservative websites, had these like independent sites, like whatever website you're hosting, like fucking Drudge Report or some shit. At any time, they could really, if you don't have proper DNS, if they find your server or data center, they could contact your fucking internet uplink provider and say, hey, these people are saying this on here, you gotta get them shut down. And that was severe, that was crazy power to get to people. And in the end, it didn't work out. In the end, that shit did not come to pass like how I thought it would, which is good overall. I mean, things aren't great right now societally. I think things are kind of fucked up, but like that was too much to give to libtards, essentially. Anyways, I've ranted a lot about this. I haven't felt this angry or upset in a long time. I guess death does that to people. But I made a Twitter post and I just fucking argue with people for hours. I was arguing like nonstop with people on that Twitter thread. And it was really bad, and I had to mute it. I just muted the thread and muted anyone else who was on there, but I muted the thread, so I stopped getting notifications. I just had to just turn it off. It's not good to rage bait yourself into fucking oblivion. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, who doesn't love a good rage bait? Who doesn't love a good rage session? You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit fun. But at some point, you just take a step back and say, I gotta stop. Because these people are just liars and duplicitous fucks who will lie and say whatever the fuck they want about shit. Doesn't matter how untrue it is, doesn't matter how stupid it is, they don't care. People would say that about me. People say I'm lying and I'm fucking hypocritical or I'm deceiving people, and I'm just not. I know people think I am when I say shit, but reality is I don't come after people who don't when I come after people and say shit about them, I usually come from a place of what I believe to be the truth. Almost always. And I have reasons for doubting what people say when they say it back to me sometimes. But like, I would frankly not give a shit about 8 Mile. I would be fine to just move on if it wasn't still so blatantly obvious how dangerous that site is. Anytime I see it come up, I'm going to bring it up. Hey, this site is run by either run by someone who's so completely unknowledgeable about basic fucking website maintenance that they should not be running a website. They just should not be allowed to touch a website or have that kind of power or authority because they don't know what the fuck to do with it, because they can't maintain even the most basic standard of safety for their users, or they're pedophiles, or they're feds trying to get you in jail. It's one of those three. And none of them are good. I think what I've learned after all this time is that you really cannot trust people from that side of the internet. I used to think like, oh man, Mr. Medicare is so cool, all these guys are so edgy, they're so awesome, you know, as we all did, because they're all cringe idiots. But as I've gotten older, I realized these people are the people I'm talking to are completely fucking useless, and they're stupid, and they're not cool people to look up to who post awesome things. They post shitty. It's not even like they're like posting cool shit, right? The one thing is like, oh man, this guy's a complete idiot, but he's incredibly good at shit posting, right? The people who are in charge of this shit now are, and you know what, sometimes Hotwheels was an okay shit poster. You have to give him to that. Wasn't, in the end, he kind of fell off and fell into heavy trolls remorse, right? But like, look at fucking Josh. If Josh was not the admin of Kiwi Farms, right, the content he posts and the shit he says will be completely derided and mocked because of how stupid and lame it is. The only reason he's relevant at all is because he has some level of authority in what is a very large community. Like, he's not like an iconic poster who's created and done iconic things for lolcow history. I know he thinks he has, but he's fucking piggyback off the fucking shoulders of giants, right? He's not actually done anything that impressive creatively. You know, now the internet sucks. It's not a good live stream. It's not a good live stream to watch and copy down fucking stuff, fucking basically Encyclopedia Dramatica, but fucking Kiwi Farms threads. I'm just gonna recap the Kiwi Farms thread and just gonna read out what happens. It's dog shit. And same thing for Mark and Acid. Like, I don't think Mark's posted anything fucking good ever his entire fucking life. He's a shit poster. He's a bad shit poster. He's not particularly fucking funny. He's never made something that's made he's never done something that is, or posted something or created something that's made people go, yeah, man, that's so cool. They put up with him because he's who they congregate around. He has V, and is who the community is. But the truth is, man, it's not real. None of that shit matters. Like, these are not, if you deal with people like this and you talk to them, if they didn't have this, they'd have fucking nothing. Just like fucking Reddit mods, Wikipedia editors, you know, they're trying desperately to cling on to something to make them cool, to make up for the fact that they have nothing in their real life. And that's something that I had to confront with. Maybe that's me. I mean, I'm a TV channel owner. I'm fucking TV/TV modding. Am I doing this because I have nothing else to make me interesting in real life? Is that me? Am I coming to self-actualization that I'm like that too? I don't fucking know. I see it when I look at others. Clearly, it's clearly obvious. And I don't know. Because I don't know if that's true, because like Robbie, who ran fucking Joulet World or whatever, or A-Log Space, or whatever the fuck, I don't think he's an uncool person. I think Robbie seems to have a normal fucking life, as far as I can tell, and seems to be pretty alright stand-up individual. You know, all the people I've met in real life from being online are actually pretty cool guys who have nice jobs, who have good families, right? Like, the stuff that really matters, that's real, outside the internet, matters. And the problem is that, like, for so long, I've discovered it. The problem is the barrier between online and off was so, I always had in my mind as so concrete, like, these are the online guys. And the online guys are cooler because they're cool online. But now there is no online guys, because there's no online. There's just, the internet and real life have merged so consistently and completely that there's no tangible difference between the two. The people, what you will talk about online is the same thing you will talk about with people in real life. It's the same conversations with the same types of people. And frankly, when you sum it all up, and I have to, if I can have the kind of people you'd have conversations with on like the dark, like fucking 8chan shit back in the day, they were different kinds of conversations that just don't exist anymore. So when these people are, it's not that when these people are no longer forced to be having these online only lives and conversations, they have to basically, when they have to be merged with the rest of us, well, guess what? They don't fucking work. It doesn't work for them, brother, because they're not fucking, their offline is so completely devoid of anything that their online essentially becomes nothing. Yeah. And maybe I'm discovering that. Maybe that's the case about me too. I don't know if it is. But it's important to be self-aware and not just assume that everyone else is shit. But sometimes it is. But like, I would much rather, I think Egoven and Trifox and the guys in my YouTube are way fucking cooler than, and probably have way better, like, I would much rather spend actual time with them and talk with them than I would someone on fucking 8chan.mo. And I think that the TV community I create on TV channel is still good, and the people, you can still kind of have the conversations you can have anywhere else there, but it does feel kind of like the arc of the, it's like the flood is overcoming us, and there's not much left. I'm very torn about this. I hope that what I'm saying makes sense. That, like, it's looking like Egoraptor. Here's a good example, Egoraptor, right? You remember when you were younger and Egoraptor was fucking making Metal Gear awesome, you thought, man, this guy's fucking cool. It's badass, right? But then, like, you see what Egoraptor actually is as a person, and you realize he's, like, the lamest fuck to ever live, who is creatively bankrupt, not funny, and shit. But because he got to make a couple of Flash cartoons back when you could do that online and express yourself in interesting online, he's forever cemented himself like a career off of being Egoraptor. When Aaron Hansen's like the most boring, unfuckable, unlovable piece of shit to ever live. No one gives a shit about. If he didn't have, he would not be an interesting or exciting person to follow if it wasn't for the fact that he at one point made some very popular Flash cartoons. Conversely, compare that to Doug Walker. hot take, Doug Walker, the person, is an actually interesting, articulate, somewhat smart person who I would enjoy to have a conversation with, unironically. And that's why Doug Walker is still somewhat relevant to this day. He's had a lot of shit. He should have failed, but Doug Walker is still kicking because Doug Walker, the person, like, if you watch Nostalgia Critic nowadays, it's not Nostalgia Critic anymore. It's just Doug Walker. Like, Nostalgia Critic, eventually it happened. You know, he had to retire. Doug Walker didn't become Nostalgia Critic. Nostalgia Critic became Doug Walker. And in the end, what we're left with is a guy who, for all intents and purposes, is a pretty entertaining, enjoyable guy to watch. But you compare that to, like, fucking Egoraptor, and it's like, well, Aaron Hansen and Egoraptor have merged into one, and Aaron Hansen's just not that interesting of a person. Just gonna say it. It's kind of like me. Where the online persona era is over. Like, there's really no cool. It's just Patrick, right? It's just me. I'm not playing a character or doing a bit right now. I'm just talking about shit that's pissing me off. And I'm using this video to vent about it because I don't really know what else to talk to about this shit. It's like, no one in my real life gives a shit about this. Only I do. I'm the only one who gives a shit and is upset about this clearly horrible thing that's continuing to happen. So Gahul is dead, and there's just Patrick now. I feel like, we'll take a look at my good friend Darkside Phil, right? DSP doesn't, when I watch Phil play games, right? And, like, you watch old DSP, he feels like he's playing a little bit of a character. He's playing Darkside Phil, right? You watch DSP now, he just feels like Phil Burnell. He's a different person. Like, no one's these characters or these personas or these ideas anymore. Maybe they are, but they're like more, they're just like the same as they're just being themselves online. There's no more, but, and when they try to be characters, it doesn't work because it comes off as fake. It comes off as phony. Whereas back in the day, it was kind of like, oh, we're playing characters for the internet. We're like going on and we're turning into our internet selves. Well, there's no real self to turn back into. You're always your internet self now because you're always connected and you're always online. So your internet self is now just who you are. And it's kind of silly to be, it'd be kind of silly to be the Nostalgia Critic 24/7. And you have to be your internet self 24/7. So your internet self just becomes you. So, you know, hopefully this makes sense. But that's, I've come to realize these people just don't deserve my sympathy or my respect. And they don't deserve anything but hatred in a lot of ways because of what they've done. Like, I just stopped seeing it as, oh, the guy who wrote, you know, the character of Acid Man has done this. It is now, it is not the character of Acid Man who says, it is the real life person who goes by this online, who's not just some fucking anonymous bubble. Because guess what? Even you can't even be anon anymore, right? When you go to be anon, you post on these sites, everyone's just like, they don't slink back into the character. I'm just tired. And Hotwheels is dead. And I feel, here's what I'll say in memorial to Hotwheels. He had an incredible life for someone like him. Can't deny that. He did a lot of shit. Not a lot of it good. A lot of it was very bad. And he made a lot of mistakes. And I feel like in the end, he put himself mentally, I think he was supposed to live till like he was 50. He died in his 30s. Which with someone whose condition isn't absurd, but it's still pretty young for his age, for his type of condition, right? It's still 20 years too early for him. But I mean, like, I look at what he surrounded himself with in the end, and I can't help but feel he probably made himself way more miserable. Maybe he was happy, I don't know. But I didn't feel like it was, he didn't feel like he was happy. He looked fucking not well. And he surrounded himself with people who didn't seem to be well either. And I don't, and he will ever have he never finished his fucking fonts, man. He never finished those fucking fonts, and that sucks, dude. Should've got them fucking fonts finished before he went crazy on this stuff, you know? Hey! people keep posting that into fucking WebM now that he's dead, like with like Josh and Infinity Next and all that shit, and it's like, man, no respect to these fucking people anymore. I think they made the wrong turn. Whoops. I'm on my way. I'm going the fucking wrong way. I'm lost. I should probably turn my camera off so I can look at my GPS on my phone. No thanks. Nah, man, I just, Can I fucking fit through here? Thank God I got my car. It's smaller now. My truck wouldn't fit through here. I'm just going on a fucking pointless rant here. Just pointless what I'm saying. It's not very productive, or sometimes you have to let it all out. Sometimes you have to get the shit that's on your chest off and to someone who understands. And hopefully you understand what I'm saying. You know? I miss being Gahul. I don't like just being Patrick. And it's hard to let go because there's parts of me that feel so much worse. I mean, parts of being cool pretty shitty. There's a lot of bad shit, right? And I said and do some pretty bad shit. I've said some really stupid things online. Stop fucking honking at me. I'm not fucking. What the fuck do you expect me to do? Like, just make the guy in front of me go? Shut the fuck up. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm gonna honk at you. What the fuck do you want me to do? Right? I know you're in a rush, but like, come on, calm down, bitch. Bitch, please. But no, I mean, there's parts of me that miss like being cool, and like there's parts of me like that miss like I used to be a lot more confident. You know, it was easy. It was easier to be like funny persona man online than it is to just be like when I kind of make videos, I'm just like I kind of slip back into the old persona a bit, and it does feel good to like just not be such a fucking complete pushover, you know? Fuck. There's a certain confidence and character and poise you get when you become an online personality that you don't have when you don't do that. I feel like these people have fucked up the internet because there was an enclave of the real internet that was left, and it became inundated and controlled and run. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe the only people who long for and want the real internet are a few handful of people like me who are normal but just like being seeing the real internet. And the absolute sick fucks who can only get away with the sick fuck shit they do because it's the real internet and they're not being tracked. They don't have their real name tied to it. Because I feel like people like Hotwheels, people like Josh, people like Mark, and people like Acid, people like Jim and Ron, people like Moot, who is in the Epstein files. You know, Moot's just the next Diddy. Moot's a pedophile for real. Actual Epstein Diddy. Wow. People like this have ruined the ability to post anonymously because they've made it feel scummy and shitty and lame. They've made it lame as shit. It used to be somewhat cool. It used to be edgy. And there was danger with the edge. You got around some fucking crazy people. But you were on the edge of, like, you were on the edge of thinking, right? If that makes sense. You're on the edge of culture where, like, shit was, like, fucked up in some ways, but also you got some really deep, interesting conversations. You're being real with people. And there weren't consequences to what you said. You could just say whatever the fuck you wanted. Whereas now there's such heavy consequences. And the problem is that, like, now to go on sites like that today, they are so inundated with, like, the most stupid, banal spam shit because they're being run by people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're being run by actual scumbags. Everyone who's been in charge of one of these fucking websites is an actual piece of shit scumbag Am I included in that because I run one? No, I'm the exception to the rule because I'm special. But unironically, maybe, yeah. I don't allow sick shit on my website. People would say that shit about me, obviously. People turn that same argument against me for same reasons, but people like this have ruined that. It's their fault. It's not that just it died off. It's not that just people aren't interested in posting on these sites anymore, because there was still a lot of heavy use. Green text posts on Twitter were still getting millions of views, right? Like there still was shit going on with that, but you'll notice that they're not anymore. That has died way the fuck down, because there's nothing good or original coming from these sites anymore. You know, you used to get crazy green text stories, crazy fun shit, but that's dried up because to interact with these websites means to interact with the scum of the earth on the administrative level. They're being run by the dumbest, they're either being run by police who want to entrap and jail you, the most evil, despicable motherfuckers on the planet, or the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. None of those options sound like a place I want to hang out. And none of those three people sound like people I want to be my leaders, or control my community, or control what I say or do. But that's what you're fucking left with. Josh might be the least bad of them at the end of the day. Josh is just fucking stupid, right? And compared to the people on Modern 8chan or Jim and Ron, is Josh that bad? No, but he's still fucking horrible. He's ruined fucking locales. They're gone. There's plenty of people who could be locales, but there's not, because the locale community was destroyed by Josh O'Connor Moon and Kiwi Farms. And the image war community was destroyed by Moot. Well, he created 4chan, but it was destroyed by Jim, Ron, and fucking now Mark and Acid. They destroyed it by making it full of complete scumbags. And what's left is fucking I guess 4chan's run by Hiroyuki. Maybe it's not that bad now. Maybe 4chan's the only one left. Maybe I don't know if Hiroyuki's bad or not. I don't know anything about him. It just feels like shit though. I just don't trust it. Anyways, guys, that's my rant. Hope you all enjoyed it. I saw my car radio was on for a bit, so my might get copyright strike down. Who knows if this will even stay up? I might have to edit a good chunk of this out. We'll find out when it goes up. But it was good talking to you all. Bye.